guys, it's Rebecca Fisher from Extra.ie and I am delighted to present the Bulmer Sounds from the Secret Orchard. We will be joined in studio by 16 of the biggest up and coming Irish talents as we look to get to the core of what it means to be a rising star. Today, we are joined by the iconic indie folk legend, Jackie Beverly.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
I'm good, so good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming.
Sure.
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit for the people at home about how you got started with music, your inception into music, and just kind of how that all started for you.
So I actually played in a band with my brother before when we were like really young, and it was super folky. Kind of got into writing my own music when I was about 20, 21 and got in touch with a producer, Darren Nolan, and from there have just been working at it since. Yeah.
Wow, I love the whole like family band, Brady Bunch vibe.
It was so nice to work with my brother, and it's nice every time I go home now, we like sit around the table and my dad plays a bit of music as well, so it's really lovely to do that.
So it's like kind of family was one of your main influences in music from the get-go?
Definitely, 100%, yeah.
Would you have any more like major influences? Like where would you kind of take inspiration for your style?
Obsessed with London Grammar.
Oh, same.
Yeah,
Same.
they just remind me of dark rainy days on the bus coming home late from town and just kind of getting transported to a different world. All of their albums are incredible. I really, really love them. I really like James Vincent McMorrow. I think he's excellent.
Oh,
yeah.
So good.
And I suppose another Irish act, maybe Lisa Hannigan. I think she's amazing.
Oh my
yeah.
God, imagine a little collab there. Anyway, so I know kind of with your sound, like live music is it like I've seen a few clips from your gigs and you're a force to be reckoned with on stage. What do you like kind of get from gigging? Like do you find it's like the epitome for you, or is writing and like going to the studio kind of the big thing?
I love being in the studio. Being in the studio is probably my favorite part. You kind of have done the work by yourself, and like lyrics and songwriting and stuff, they're things that I tend to do by myself a lot. But then when you get to go into the studio and it just develops into something else, and you might have started off with one thing, but by the end of it, it's this whole different story. So that's really cool to see that happening and to like kind of witness it in live time. And then of course gigging is, there's no feeling like it, walking on stage and seeing the people in the crowd and the energy in the room. It just kind of, it like really feeds me and nourishes me. So it's really lovely to do that as well.
Thanks. I know when I was chatting to you, and I think this is something that not a lot of people would know, is like when I see, a gig advertised for you or something, I'm immediately like, okay, I've got to get tickets because this is going to sell out. But that wasn't always kind of a mindset you had of, you were a bit uncertain if you were going to fill the room, which is madness now looking back. But
yeah, I think, so my first ever headline show was announced and then a week later COVID hit. So I think I had a bit of PTSD from that whole situation.
Naturally.
So yeah, any other show then that we booked, I'm always just like in the background thinking, are tickets going to sell? Do people still want to come to gigs? And I released an EP last year and we booked Whelan's main stage for it, which is pretty big. So it took a lot of convincing for me to do it. And then eventually when the time came, I was backstage doing my usual routine of like freaking out a little bit, and got up on stage and was just like the amount of people in the room, it was completely overwhelming in a really, really lovely way. It was amazing.
I love that as well. Imagine also like kind of being there as a fan, like getting that palpable energy off you. I'd say that was incredible.
Yeah,
God.
I couldn't speak for about 2 minutes, so which was difficult because the songs were starting. So.
They're like, come on, Jackie.
Yeah.
Keep going. I love that. Well, actually, that being said, you're going to perform a little number for us now. So would you like to introduce the song for me?
Sure. This next song is called Changeling.
Well, everybody, this is Changeling by Jackie Beverly.
I can still remember the leaves as they fell up that garden path that led us all astray. We hid amongst the roses, told secrets in the shade. One by one we left our mothers, one by one we went away. took us by the hand and asked us all to climb up that mountain where the river meets the snow. They took off all our clothes. Well, I remember it was cold as we plunged into the water, as they cleansed us of our souls. And oh, we wait for light to fade. And oh, we pray for him, for her, for they. Darling, please forgive me for losing what we've learned. The land doesn't seem to know my name. The streets that we roam, well, they do not feel like home. Can you tell them that I'm frightened? Can you tell them then we'll go? And oh, we wait for light to fade. And oh, we pray for him, for her, for they. Do you still remember the leaves as they fell up that garden path that led us all astray?
Unreal. No, that was very, very good. You should never be anxious about getting on stage again. That was incredible. Absolutely. Oh, I love it. So would you like to tell me a little bit about the track that's off?
Yeah, so that's off my latest EP, which is called Temporary State. First EP I ever released last September, I think it was. And it's actually pretty fitting for this because I don't know if you could hear in the lyrics, it's kind of all about walking through almost like a magical garden. I'm really into sort of magic and fairies and that kind of thing. So yeah, I thought it would be really fitting for this and sort of takes you to another magical place. Yeah, that music does as well.
Love that. Would you kind of describe your style as a little like ethereal, like, you know, woodlandsy? I'm terrible at describing these things, but
no,
you know.
You're doing really well. Yeah, absolutely. Like I recently filmed a live music video in a graveyard, so that really fits with that description. Yeah. So you got it spot on, actually.
I was like, there's ethereal and then there's Halloween, but we'll go with that one. All right, love that. Speaking of things that are confusing, we've been battling over the name of your next song that you're about to perform, and I'm going to need you to explain it to me and to everybody at home because I'm confused. So, dendrites?
Perfect.
Dendrites, I've said it right.
Perfect.
Dendrites. There you go. That's for the fans.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And where does that name come from?
So dendrites are the pathways in your brain that form when you think a certain way over and over again. And it's also the really cool thing is that it's possible to change these. So say, for example, if you've gone through like really tough times and you're feeling really down, those pathways are going to take you a certain way when you're thinking of situations. But through different things like therapy or talking to friends or CBT, you can permanently change those to think in a more positive way, which I think is amazing. Like humans are so amazing, you know?
I love that. I'm getting a psychology lesson as well as a live performance. Incredible. Well, everybody, this is going to be Dendrites by Jackie
words, they come so soft, they're hard to hear. Feel it as the fog burns off, hot coffee from the corner shop. It's days like this, I wanna disappear. I try not to analyze every single person that I meet. It's not my fault though, it's neurological. A fancy word for electricity. I remember one day in June, sunbathing on my roof, and you asked me if you thought that we'd stay friends. I think about that day so much, and I wish we'd stayed in touch, 'cause I hate the way that most things have to end. I try not to apologize for every single little thing I say. It's not my fault though, I'm pathological. Funny how some things end up this way. Dendrites changing all the time. It's crazy what they do and how they fade away. Dendrites changing all the time. It's crazy what they do and how they fade away. How they fade and how they fade and
That was incredible. Unreal. No, I really, really, really like that one. And I finally know what dendrites mean, which is great for me.
Little psychology lesson, really.
Psychology lesson in with my live gig. I love that. God. Speaking of live gigs, I think finally we're all back to that. You know, post-COVID, we're finally getting the Irish music scene, and people can finally, you know, pay for tickets and see it in person, which is just incredible to have that all back. How are you finding the Irish music scene at the moment?
I think there's just so much amazing talent out there, and it's so great for our little country to be doing so well in terms of musicians, and not only musicians but also like actors and that kind of thing, like the Golden Globes and the Oscars and stuff. But yeah, I don't know, it just feels so great to be out there and doing it again, especially after those scary few years of COVID where no one really knew what was happening. We're back, and we're definitely back with a bit of a vengeance, like, you know, to kind of make a name for ourselves as an Irish nation, which is really cool.
I love that. Irish acts are doing so well, and like I feel like female artists as well, like, are having a moment.
Definitely,
like,
yeah.
Definitely.
There's so many up and coming female artists that are absolutely tearing a path for themselves, and it's really, really cool to see.
And you're one of them.
Yeah.
And Jackie Beverly is one of them. Love to see it. Do you have anything like majorly exciting coming up that, you know, fans can take a look out for? Like, you know, any music in the works, any gigs in the works?
There's definitely music in the works, there's definitely gigs in the works, but one thing that's really kind of a little bit different, a little bit exciting, is I've been doing a little bit of writing with a good friend of mine. His name is Dash Oda, and we have a previous release together, and I think there's going to be a lot more to come from that, and very different from the both of us. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I love when people mix it up and kind of take inspiration from each other. Oh,
Yeah.
This is what we want.
Yeah.
This is what the Irish music scene should be. Amazing. Well, Thank you so much for joining us in the Secret Orchard today, Jackie. It's been incredible.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's been a dream to be here.
Love this. Everybody, Jackie Beverly.